So वहाँ पे जो आपका lifestyle है that is really good as compared to United States or it's very different. Even the commute is different. You are traveling from one place to another place. So how much time does it take? और फिर आपकी जो work routine है that is different. Like actually I have been accountant since 17 years. Middle East in Dubai I had my own institution to teach the professional qualifications like ACCA, CFA, CPA. कि दोनों के स्टाइल में बहुत फ़र्क होता है. जो टीचर होगा अगर उसके पास प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, एक्सपोजर नहीं है, तो ही कैन ओनली गिव यू द बुकिश नॉलेज.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम ख़वातीन व हज़रात, वेलकम बैक टू मुसाफिर. मैं आपका होस्ट दानिश साकिब और आज मेरे साथ होस्ट करेंगे मोहम्मद हमाद.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
तो आज जो हमारे साथ गेस्ट हैं वो बहुत स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं हमारे लिए, क्योंकि वो रन करते हैं वेल रिटन टैक्स अकाउंटेंट एंड ही इज़ अ वेरी वेल नोन एंड वेरी सक्सेसफुल अकाउंटेंट इन एडलेड. अस्सलाम वालेकुम मुमताज़ भाई.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
कैसे हैं आप?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बिल्कुल, आप सुनाएं.
शुक्र लगा. तो मुमताज़ भाई, हम आपकी जर्नी पे आएंगे कि किस तरह आपने अकाउंटिंग का बिज़नेस स्टार्ट किया यहाँ पे. बट सबसे पहले तो आप हमें अपनी ऑस्ट्रेलिया आने की जर्नी बताएं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया आने से पहले आप क्या करते थे और यहाँ पे आप कैसे आए.
जी दानिश और Ahmad, thank you so much for having me here.
Pleasure
first
is
of
all.
all.
Thank you so much for your time as well.
Nice. So my journey actually started, from a very small town. But before, as you asked, like how I decided to come to Australia. So that was actually, like my second or third journey I had in my life. So I have been lived in different countries before.
MashaAllah.
So I was in Middle East, like before, like leaving Pakistan. I went to Middle East before coming to Australia. Then I go to United States. I lived there. And so Australia is my third home country, you can say.
Nice.
After leaving Pakistan.
So after living in all those countries, USA, Middle East, and now in Australia as well, which country do you prefer? Like, which country do you think is better?
Yeah, like it's hard to decide because there are different factors. आप different जगहों पे रहते हैं, उनके हर जगह मतलब वहाँ पे different situation होती है that you went through, and you decide on the basis of that कि which country is better in what perspective. So if you look into career wise या फिर हम जैसे देखते हैं कि working condition कहाँ की अच्छी हैं, sometimes we have to look lifestyle कहाँ पे अच्छा है. So if we compare it on those basis, so because I lived in Middle East in Dubai for the long time, so वहाँ पे जो आपका lifestyle है that is really good as compared to United States or Australia. Australia जो है that is slightly, especially in Adelaide, it's slightly laid back. तो यहाँ पे जो है life is slightly slow. But that also sometime people's preference के थोड़ा peaceful हो, or especially once you have you have seen the word, and after that you just want to calm down for a bit. So that's the reason I would say कि like on the basis of personal preference at this point of time, Australia is the best place for me. But in US there are a lot of like work opportunities. But उसमें ये है कि like the life is very mechanical, and that was one of the reason I decided to move to Australia from United States. क्योंकि वहाँ पे जो है वो आपकी routine जो है that is very tough. It's very competitive, especially when like I was living in New York. तो New York में जो है like it's a lot of competition. Like either you do your own business or you are like I was not actually running away from the competition. The thing is that because to survive in the market you have to be like a very workaholic. So like that's the reason I decided to come to Australia.
तो मतलब हमें यहाँ की रूटीन टफ लगती है कि वो यूएसए की उससे भी ज़्यादा टफ है?
डेफिनेटली यूएसए की आप मार्केट को थोड़ा सा मतलब जैसे वी कैन कंपेयर लोकली एडलेट की मार्केट को हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं लाइक सिडनी मेलबर्न से सो यू विल सी अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस के वहाँ पे लाइफ आपकी डिफरेंट होती है पेस इज़ वेरी डिफरेंट इवन द कम्यूट इज़ डिफरेंट यू आर ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर प्लेस सो हाउ मच टाइम डज इट टेक और फिर आपकी जो वर्क रूटीन है that is different like it's overall you have to decide on the basis of okay, how many hours in a day you're spending related to your work so like if you're even working for 8 hours but you have to spend time on commute like for a couple of hours to go and come back and forth so basically आपका जो overall working hours है वो increase हो जाते हैं और then this is what eventually really make a difference on your lifestyle.
बिल्कुल.
So New York में भी सीधा है like I was living in New Jersey and traveling from Hoboken to Midtown Manhattan. So basically it was like one and a half hour commute every day I have to do. So it was adding up like you're leaving early like 7:30 from home and coming back like 8 or 9 o'clock. So basically that's what adds up. और यहाँ पे हमने एडलेट में कहीं भी जाना होता है यू कैन जस्ट गो इन 10-15 मिनट्स
हाँ हर चीज़ बहुत करीब है.
अच्छा मुमताज़ भाई जैसे ये पूछना आपसे था कि स्मॉल टाउन फिर मिडिल ईस्ट देन यूएसए देन एडलेट तो वॉज इट एडलेट ओनली या ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पहले आप कहीं और थे कैसे एडलेट डायरेक्टली यू लैंडेड
आई डायरेक्टली लैंडेड इन एडलेट
ओके तो जो ऑक्यूपेशन था जो आज आपका करंट है एज एन अकाउंटेंट ठीक है यू ओन अ बिजनेस माशाल्लाह So was it the same profession throughout the time or you changed your profession because of the states or because of the natures मतलब the nature of the job जो भी था आपने change किए थे या सिर्फ यही throughout the time आपने रखा था?
Actually I have been accountant since 17 years.
Oh माशाल्लाह.
माशाल्लाह.
Like I studied,
Long time.
Yeah, I studied.
लगता है आपको numbers बहुत पसंद है.
You can say that. Where I start studying, like accountancy qualification called ACCA. Back in Pakistan, I started in 2004.
Oh, okay.
So basically, since then, I'm in accountancy, and then, when I moved to Middle East in Dubai, I had my own institution to teach the professional qualifications like ACCA,
Okay.
CFA, CPA.
Nice.
So you were a teacher before.
I have been teacher for a long time.
Okay.
Impressive.
So मैं एक थोड़ा सा out of the way क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा जो मुझे हमेशा वो एक चीज़ जो होती है वो माइंड में ट्रिगर करती है. Before you were teaching, now you're doing hands-on job. मतलब जो आप पढ़ा रहे हो जो आप एक्सपीरियंस अपने शेयर कर रहे हो वही आप एक्सपीरियंसेस अभी कर रहे हो तो क्या वो डिफरेंसेस होते हैं या जो लोग जो कहते हैं कि नहीं यार पढ़ाई तो बुक्स कुछ और होती है और ऑन अपना कहते हैं हैंड्स ऑन डिफरेंट होता है तो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस या ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता?
To be honest, like I'll break it up into two sections. The one is like when I was studying and we had the teachers, those were just teaching and there were people those were working in the industry and they were like coming to take a class after their working hours so they are associated with the accounting firms or they are basically doing their own business so that's what answers your question कि दोनों के स्टाइल में बहुत फ़र्क होता है जो टीचर होगा अगर उसके पास प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है एक्सपोजर नहीं है तो he can only give you the bookish knowledge कि okay 1 + 1 is 2 but जो मतलब the people those are practically working in the industry वो आपको जिस तरीके से एक कह लें कि इंसाइट देंगे इंडस्ट्री की that will be completely different so that really make a difference कि आपका जो मतलब जो बुकिश नॉलेज है that is sometime enough to pass the exam लेकिन इंडस्ट्री में काम करने के लिए और टू ग्रो इन द इंडस्ट्री you need more insight and you need a kind of mentor or the teacher those are working in the industry.
Okay.
So that their approach towards teaching in fact is completely different when specifically when it comes to the business studies. This is very different like the practical knowledge and the bookish knowledge and it should be like taught in the way in a most practical way. This is what we see actually in like other countries where like the education standards are good. They are taking care of that. The teachers they are completing their qualifications, and they do have experience in that field, and then they are coming to teach.
अच्छा, so Mumtaz bhai, from Dubai to US, what made you went over there? What's the reason behind?
So yeah, like I in fact, it depends. I would answer it in a way like I decided to move from Dubai to United States because I wanted to explore further.
Okay.
So I have been, traveling since like I used to travel before. So when I was working in Dubai, I decided to explore different markets.
The US market.
Yeah, US market, different market. I would say like I traveled to 3-4 different countries, and US was one of them. So I just was exploring any opportunities, like where I can do better than Dubai, what I was doing. So everybody have this, kind of intention to grow further, to explore further. So when I went to United States, I thought it's more feasible if I move from Middle East
East to US.
to United States. There are better opportunities.
And then US chose Adelaide, Australia.
Yeah, that's like, I would say it was more kind of personal decision.
Achha.
But like on the basis of that, like as I mentioned earlier, it's like very workaholic environment working in United States. So on the basis of that, like in fact, there was a gap where, I was in US and then I went to live to Pakistan for some time, not long, but like almost 6-7 months. I just wanted to take a break and,
Yeah,
spend
after
some
working
time.
with
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
hectic. Yeah, क्योंकि होता है बंदा कंपटीशन को सरवाइव कंपटीशन में रिटेन करना, तो ये चीज़ें बड़ी होती हैं कि अच्छा है, गुड ब्रेक फॉर यू.
Yeah.
तो मुमताज़ भाई, आप जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया आए, आपके पास ऑब्वियसली आपने ACCA पढ़ा हुआ था, राइट? एंड यू आर टीचिंग एज वेल. तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आके कोई डिफरेंट क्वालिफिकेशन रिक्वायर्ड होती है, आपको कोई लाइसेंस लेना पड़ता है, और यू कैन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दैट?
So basically, Danish, I'm registered tax agent. So to get registered as a tax agent, you need certain qualification and the experience at the same time. So the licensing process is governed by TPB, it's a tax practitioner board. They actually issue the license to work as a tax agent, and they do have qualification requirement plus the experience requirement. So when I moved to Australia, I start working with the firm, and then eventually, in fact, I worked with a couple of firms, and then I complete my qualification requirement, because even you have done the chartered accountancy, you still have to study further, because you are taking care of taxation and the business law side. So you have to learn the local laws. That includes the property law, the business law, then there is a commercial contract law. And along with that, you need a qualification in the individual taxation and the corporate taxation. So these are the 5 exams, in fact, that you have to study, and then you get qualified in those. And along with that, you need at least 1 to 2 years experience to work under the supervision of a registered tax agent, and then you can start your own practice. So I moved in basically in 2018, and I got my license in 2020. So it was a couple of years.
So a long journey with many steps to climb on. So how was your experience working as an accountant, like not starting on your own business, but working as an accountant under someone? How was that?
Yeah, that was good, in fact. Because I trained myself for a long time to, work independently or work under the supervision. So, like, it was more kind of a business partnership I had initially, where I used to, more like giving training to their staff and preparing them. So I was taking care of more administrative work at that time. And then, because what I had to study and have to give exam, I already did it for my licensing purposes. So for that reason, it was very helpful for me to work for someone and to do those things practically. So to coming out from bookish knowledge to the practical, implementation of those things. So yeah, like it was a very good experience. And then like somehow it make a difference, because when you work with someone, work under someone, So you have to basically go, as per their expectation as well. So that's definitely a difference in running your own practice or working with someone else. But yeah, like I enjoy more working independently. So that's the reason I started my own practice.
Okay. The reason why I was asking this is like because we have many accountant students over here and who have graduated in accountant, and they say like that it's hard to find jobs, and if they find job, I don't know how to put it in nicer words, but people exploit them basically.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why I was asking him. So what is your suggestion for those students?
I believe that exploitation happens throughout in all the occupations or professions, but specifically when it comes to the accountancy, it's more because everybody knows like they need a certain experience, and without that they would not be able to proceed with their visa requirements and all that. So I think the exploitation is done on the basis of what has happened with the employer, and then he's trying to implement the same
Yes.
kind of. So yeah, like that is very unfortunate. But to avoid that, I think they should prefer to work with the kind of employer who does not come from the similar background.
Yes.
So yeah, that is very
This is
important.
one of the
because-
very valid reason. मतलब this is one of the main reason कि नहीं करना चाहिए.
हाँ, like this is the thing, like I believe कि जो उस चीज़ से होके आया होता है ना, they should वो उनको ये होना चाहिए कि यार हम आगे इसको अवॉइड करें ताकि आगे के लिए आसानी हो. बट लोग बोलते हैं हमारे साथ हुआ है, so we're gonna do this to them. मुमताज़ भाई, you are working as an accountant. Obviously, everyone wants to start their own business, want to work independently and without any supervision. When did you decide, and how did you decide that now I want to start my own business and this is what I want?
Procedures भी, if you are a bit convenient to tell कि क्या procedure होता है cut short में, कि at least if someone is planning to start their own business तो उसको पता हो कि यार ये licensing है, ये मुझे और further requirements है, ये paper work है, तो थोड़ा easy हो जाएगा सबके लिए.
Right. So basically, again, your question is like is covering a lot of aspects. One of them is like about this specific business which I'm doing right now, like running an accounting
Yes.
practice. But I would relate it with the previous journey of mine, like into business. Like when initially I started business, that was like initiating the institution back in Dubai.
In Dubai.
So, and before that, I worked for some time independently, like as I would say, self-employed. But those were like more like teaching jobs and stuff like that. So, like if you ask about the entrepreneurship journey, that started from very early age. I start working like sometimes seems not convincing, but I start working in the age of 11. So I was, going
Impressive.
to people's home and repairing their computers, and I got myself associated with the, computer services provider, and I was studying at the same time. So when basically the major breakthrough I have was, you can say, in the business was back in 2011 when I started my institution in Dubai. But I prepared myself to do that many years before that.
Yeah.
So when I was teaching in Pakistan, I was studying ACCA. And in fact, I started ACCA, and before that, there's a kind of qualification which is also part of ACCA. It's called CAT. And yeah, so I started CAT back in 2004 because I could not admit myself directly into ACCA because I just came after metric. So for that reason, I have to go through CAT and then ACCA. So when I started CAT, I had a lot of class fellows. Those actually, came from Middle East and other countries to study ACCA in Pakistan. So I used to think like why they are coming from other countries to study, like
In
why,
Pakistan.
like how it is possible that they don't have good institution over there, or what's the basic reason? So I always, and when I start teaching, I realized that there is a need of institution in the other countries, specifically in these qualification. So I basically decided, but my plan was very long term. Like I thought, when I will move overseas, it will take me maybe like a good 10 years to, start an institution and all that. But when I moved in 2008, I moved to Middle East. So it took me exactly 3 years to start my own institution. So because like when you have decided something, okay, this is what you want to do, you just need to figure it out how to do it.
Yes.
What's what's the way out, basically.
Key route.
So yeah, the same thing basically when I decided to start my practice here. I have to find out what's the way out for the licensing. How to, because I had decided I have to pursue my career in accountancy. So in accountancy, if you want to start your practice, you can just be an accounting firm, and for that you just need accounting qualification, or you can be accountancy, taxation, advisory firm where you are basically providing the multiple services. So I decided to be a registered tax agent, and then I figured out what is the requirement to become a registered tax agent. So then, as I mentioned earlier, there's a TPB, is the board which governs all these rules and regulation. Yeah, I was telling you my story before, like the first business when I started, that was an institution
Yes.
in Dubai, which is PMTC Global, and we were giving the training for the professional qualification there. So I had a background of, operating and starting the business and, even providing the accountancy services overseas in different forms. So it was not hard for me to figure out here, like how to start the firm.
Started.
So it was a kind of continuation of the same thing
Yeah.
here in Australia.
Nice.
But Mumtaz bhai, you were in Dubai, you were teaching there. I know it was your own venture. Adelaide में जब आप आए तो you have got a job first, means like a job sort of partnership, या आपने learnings यहाँ की कि यहाँ पे किस तरीके से route होता है. Then you come up to your own venture. तो दुबई में आपने जो टीचिंग की और यहाँ पे आपका अपना एक ओन वेंचर है, आपको ज़्यादा किस में ज़्यादा मज़ा आया? मतलब वहाँ टीचिंग लेसन्स देने में आपको ज़्यादा ही मतलब अच्छा लगता था कि यार मैं अपनी नॉलेज किसी से शेयर करूँ, या आप एज ए रजिस्टर्ड टैक्स एजेंट यहाँ पे हो, ये ज़्यादा आपको मतलब जो है वो जॉब समझ आती है?
I believe on, enjoying the process.
बिल्कुल.
So when you are either teaching or you're providing consultancy, to be honest, most of my clients, when, we take their feedback or someone else take their feedback, so they say I explain things a lot to them, just like a teacher. So it's a kind of legacy that I carry from my, you can say, teaching career. But it's due to, because, you have to educate the people at the same time.
Sure.
When you are basically providing them the service, they need to know. Sometimes I hear from a lot of people, they go to a different tax agent or accountants, but they're not able to understand the word, how the taxation system works. So I try to educate people at the same time. But if you specifically ask me what I like more or enjoyed more, teaching itself is very enjoyable process, I would say, because when I used to teach, to conduct the class, to have interaction with a lot of students, and then sharing something which eventually will be helping them out to pass the exams, and also educating them to prosper in their career. So that's such a, I would say, satisfactory feeling that you have in the teaching when you see the results, when you see someone, you can say, a school boy or girl, they join you for professional qualification, and then eventually they are passing out and they are working in the good firms and companies. So that is a very satisfying process. On the other hand, when it comes to practicing, or you can say running the accounting practice firm, or you can say the taxation firm, again, I enjoy the process more of educating my clients and to serve them the best way possible to discuss their taxation planning. So it's I would say it's a very similar process for me to help them out to get the best tax position
Yeah.
So yeah, it's again.
मतलब पार्ट टाइम में टीचिंग का भी इरादा है.
एंड ऑल्सो लाइक आई बिलीव टीचिंग और बिजनेस का ना कंपेरिजन करना बहुत मुश्किल है क्योंकि टीचिंग इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट क्योंकि माई फादर इज़ अ टीचर हिमसेल्फ, ही इज़ अ प्रिंसिपल, राइट. ही इज़ बीन टीचिंग फॉर 35 years नाउ, बट आई कैन नेवर डू इट. टीचिंग करने के लिए आपको सामने स्टूडेंट के लेवल पे जाना पड़ता है. यू हैव टू लाइक मेक हिम अंडरस्टैंड दैट. और हमें लगता है ना यार हमें समझ आ रहा है, इसको क्यों नहीं समझ में आ रहा है ये चीज़. तो टीचिंग बहुत मुश्किल है. देखिए उसका सवाब अलग है, आप लोगों को इतना सिखा रहे हो, वो आगे जाके कुछ अच्छा काम करते हैं माशरे के लिए. सो मेरे ख्याल में ना टीचिंग इटसेल्फ उसका मज़ा भी अपना है और उसकी अपनी इंपॉर्टेंस बहुत ज़्यादा है कंपेयर टू बिजनेस.
बट मुझे लगता है थोड़ा बोरिंग भी हो जाता है क्योंकि आप एक ही नॉलेज रोज है ना शेयर कर रहे हो या थोड़े थोड़े डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंसेस आप शेयर कर रहे हो. बट बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ अ बिजनेस वेंचर आपके पास एक एवरीडे एक न्यू चैलेंज आता है कि भाई ये क्लाइंट आया, इसकी ये समरी है, इसका इस तरीके से चीज़ें. तो पर्सनली फ्रॉम माई ओपिनियन मुझे ये है कि बिजनेस इज़ मोर गुड टू मी रादर देन टीचिंग क्योंकि आप सेम प्रोसीजर को रोज़ाना फॉलो कर रहे हो.
No, I'll agree with that because that's what basically moved me on to decide to because
that's what I want to listen.
Because I did teaching for a long time, and that as you mentioned, like that process never ends. In fact, you keep doing it.
Keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, further, but yeah, like that to come out of can say conventional teaching and to do
hands-on
business.
experiences. Yeah.
Hands-on experience. Yeah, that's actually. Because if you do that thing for a long time, then definitely you think you are like, you have done it.
Yes.
It's done and dusted.
Yes.
So you have to move on to something else.
अच्छा मुमताज़ भाई, टीचिंग हो गई, ओन वेंचर हो गया, व्हाट्स द नेक्स्ट प्लान? मतलब इसी इंडस्ट्री में ग्रो करना है या देयर इज समथिंग कि आपको है कि यार मैं जब रिटायरमेंट पे हूँ तो मैं शायद ये करूँ, कोई ऐसा कोई प्लान है?
Yeah, in fact, you keep working. I believe there's one thing what you decide to work on, I would say, like your professional career. And there are certain hobbies you want to carry. And how you like sometimes we think about getting retired, specifically when you're accountant, you deal with kind of people, those are always asking you this question and about the... So I would say like, there's no specific plan for this thing. I haven't, you can say, think so deep, okay, I will grow up my firm and take it there and then I will leave it. It's not like that. Definitely when you focus on something and you are deciding to grow it, you try to make it big as much as possible. But I think there is a limitation of everything that you can explore and you can do. But furthermore, it's like a never-ending process. It's a new challenge every day, like when specifically, like sometime there are so many changes happening at the same time. Those move you on from one thing to another. Even in the same business, the nature of business, the process is changed due to technology. Like now we hear a lot about AI and we hear a lot about other things. Those are happening around. So yes, like, that is, I would say, a never-ending process. You always want to prosper and to get to something new or challenging.
Excel into the same field.
Yeah, exactly. You want to, excel either in the same field or even because I have done this switching when I was in United States. I was working as an account manager, but my role was completely different.
Okay.
It was more dealing with the clients directly. It was more dealing with, hands-on things. I was taking care of production and stuff like that. So it was not something, more of management skills you require. You need more of, mechanical skills to do that. So it's like a completely different process you have to follow for that. A completely different skill set, I would say. So yeah, like, life... keep changing and it takes you to something new that you never imagined before. So
That's why it was wonderful talking to you. We're going to wind up soon because we have already reached our 1 hour mark as well. But मतलब आपसे बात करके इतना अच्छा लग रहा है and so much information we are getting that I want to spend another hour with you. But we're going to reach our 1 hour mark soon. So before we wind up, I have 3 questions which we ask all our guests. So first of all, if someone is listening to you from Pakistan, वो पाकिस्तान में भी आपको देख रहा है, आपको सुन रहा है, तो आप उसको क्या सजेस्ट करना चाहेंगे इफ़ ही इज़ थिंकिंग टू कम टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया? आपकी क्या सजेशन होगी उनके लिए?
So basically, people those are coming from from Pakistan or any overseas country to Australia. First of all, my first advice would be like they have to understand what culture, the culture differences, because the culture is very different in Australia. And suggestion why before they are coming, they have to learn skills, because if they do not have any skills, and then eventually they come and they have to do the odd jobs because they do not have any hands-on experience. Eventually they probably will not like Australia.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
here everybody have to work hard, and they have to make sure they carry certain amount of skills. Even you see the the people those born and brought up in Australia, they pursue their career in the different trades.
Yep.
And they do a good amount of hard work to reach somewhere. So the same thing for the overseas. Like if anybody is planning to come to Australia, they should have certain skills, the competitive skills, so they can survive in Australia.
So,
Good
And
to
it
know.
should be done before they are coming, not
Yes.
like coming here and then depending on someone else and expecting that someone else will do that hard part for them.
Yeah.
They have to do it by
getting a shock and then realizing, oh, I should have done it.
Yeah.
नहीं चले मुमताज़ भाई, विथ योर 17 years of experience, एक 17 साल का लड़का आ गया ऑस्ट्रेलिया आपको सुन के कि भाई मुमताज़ भाई ने बोला है तो मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया आ जाता हूँ. What are the first 3 things or 3 steps he should take after arriving in Australia?
So again, like that thing starts before they are coming.
Yeah.
But they are general things. Few things are very basic. I think that doesn't make sense to repeat it. Like they have to make sure before they are coming they have someone, or by the time they come their accommodation should be arranged. Then they have to like do enough of work before coming to see like how they will commute, how they will take care of the purpose they are coming, like if they are coming for studies, how to approach their university and all that. But I would suggest them after coming here, they have to, like if they are coming entirely for studies and they do not require the financial support by themselves, they are supported by their parents. In that case, they are good to go. But if they are planning to support themselves, in that case, they have to start working on that, focusing on that. And the skill I mentioned earlier, they should have certain skill. Like, they are very, there are a lot of opportunities, because there are a lot of opportunities in Australia where they can do odd jobs. They can do they can start probably Uber Eat in a couple of days, or they can, start any laboring job or hospitality job in a very short time.
Yes.
But like if they would have a proper skill, and specifically if they are coming for the studies, whatever they are studying, if they would bring a little bit experience in the same field and then they pursue their career there, that will shorten their time to towards their permanent residency.
Yeah.
And it helped them a lot to get the experience and study at the same time in the same field.
Yes.
So it's preferable, they look for the job, because eventually they will get it. Like maybe initially they have to work hard, but they will get there if they will try to explore the opportunities in their relevant field. So my suggestion is once they come, they work in the field or the occupation for which they come here.
हाँ, और पाकिस्तान को भूल के आए, यहाँ पे लाइफ कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट है. अच्छा जी, मुमताज़ भाई, यू आर ऑलरेडी डूइंग सो मच फॉर द कम्युनिटी माशाल्लाह से. बट देन अगेन, इफ समवन इज वाचिंग यू, how could you help them? How could you help the immigrant community over here? In what way?
See, like as we provide the accountancy services, taxation services. So anybody who requires the help in that, specifically if they are pursuing their career in accountancy, so we can help those kind of individuals to train them, then to basically, if they are looking for the work opportunities, we can definitely help them in that.
Zabardast.
And other than that, like if overall as a community member, if there is any support required. So we are always there for the people
MashaAllah.
in our community.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Mumtaz bhai. It was wonderful talking to you. And viewers, I'm going to leave Mumtaz bhai's details, well-written tax accountant. I'm going to leave his details in the description below. So if you have, because the tax time is coming, it's right by the corner. It's coming in June. So if you want to do your tax returns and you are in Adelaide, even Mumtaz bhai does it online as well.
Yes.
He takes an online appointment as well. So he'll look after you. So definitely go to him. Thank you so much, Mumtaz bhai. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you
Inshallah,
so much.
see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.